Don't be late, got an 8-second ride that just won't wait. My spurs are turning and my hat's on tight. If I hang on, girl, we'll be dancing tonight. You can tell by the way that I walk, I'm a little bow-legged, my mouth's full of jaw. Legs are shaky and my knees are weak. Dust me off, I'll try again next week. Rodeo is what I do. If I hang on tight and make a buck or two, it's what I do. Let's ride!
Good evening and welcome to the legendary Gold Coast Hotel and Casino and National Finals Tonight. Brought to you in part by Devil's Cut, Jim Beam, Red Stag, Coors, Pendleton, Boot Barn, Cooper Tires, Ram Rodeo, Justin Boots, Prefer, Golden Tiger Liniment, the National Cowboy Museum, Good Ride, Wrangler, J.W. Brooks Hats, Montana Silversmiths, Pepsi, and Boyd Gaming. National Finals tonight with 8-time World Champion Bull Rider Donnie Gay, 8-time World Champion Cowboy Joe Beaver, and the men and women of the NFR. Sit back, relax, and enjoy National Finals tonight. And now, here's your host, award-winning television personality, Mr. Dan Miller.
Rodeo is what I do if I hang on tight and make a buck or two.
Good-looking group. Hi, everyone, and welcome to National Finals tonight. Wasn't it a great rodeo tonight, huh? Aren't you glad to be in Las Vegas in December? It just doesn't get... I called home today, and it was snowing up in Wyoming, so it's good to be here and have you with us here at National Finals tonight. Round 7 is in the books, and we've got all kinds of people waiting back there to come out and visit with you, so let's get this evening started, I say. This gentleman, no stranger, don't even have to introduce him, but he pays me to do that. This is the 8-time world champion bull rider, the best ever, Donnie Gay, is here tonight. Mr. Gay!
And I'm having to pay him more and more to keep introducing.
It's exactly right. How are you tonight?
Very good.
Good rodeo. It's getting exciting now,
yeah.
Isn't it? Getting right down to the wire.
The rodeo's been good, I think, all the way through. Really has.
Yeah, it's been a great rodeo. Let's go ahead and bring out our other co-host here this evening. He also is an 8-time world champion cowboy. Joe Beaver is in the house tonight. Joseph, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Big Joe.
How you doing tonight? Yeah, you saw one of those already, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
It's good to have you here this evening, Joe. Good night at the rodeo.
Yes, it was.
I trust your dinner tonight was safe wherever you went.
It was safe.
Yes.
It was safe. But I did. My preacher text me tonight about where he could go eat. And I said, what are you hungry for? He said, no fire tonight.
Last night, Joe almost burnt down one of the landmarks
we like to got a landmark here in town, but
it's all good now.
It wouldn't be the first one I got.
It's all good. We've got a lot of things to do tonight, so let me tell you quickly if you would like to participate with us and text a question to us. We are high-tech rednecks, aren't we?
Oh, that's right.
Here is the phone number. It's 702-582-5638 or 702-
Luck NFT.
Oh, my gosh.
You knew he couldn't make 2 nights in a row without throwing that in there. Ain't no way.
You're a showgirl at heart. He just likes that Las Vegas stuff. So if you'd like to text us one of those messages, please do that, and they're already coming in here this evening. The last thing I want to tell you quickly is we have a lot of prizes to give away, and we have a guitar signed by, I can't even read that. I don't know if that's George Strait tonight or somebody else, but we have that guitar. Who is it?
Some doctor.
Luke Bryant has signed that guitar for you.
Looks like it.
What did it look like?
Looks like some doctor.
Look like a prescription you get.
Yeah. That's Tandy Freeman.
Matter of fact, I've signed a few look like that on scripts.
So what I want to tell you is we're going out on YouTube and to a television audience, and we're going to say goodbye to them at the end of the show, but we need you to stay here, and then we'll give away all of those prizes that we have this evening. How many of you were physically at the rodeo tonight? Very many of you actually went to the... Oh, my gosh. People clear back out there into the casino. Well, if you were there, you didn't watch the show on television. And I think there's 40 properties now in Las Vegas that carry the big screens, and this showroom is packed. People coming to watch that. And so we don't get to see Donnie and Joe do that.
I've spent money in every one of them. The lights are really bright.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
You're a good donator. I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. So the feed that we get here does not include you two, but they're doing it live for GAC television. Boy, we're glad to be on on GAC. Donnie and I doing the X-Bulls as well. So for round number 7, we have a highlight reel. Some of the things, all the winners, Donnie, starting off with the bareback riding, round number 7.
All right, well, we'll start the bareback riding. Caleb Bennett. This guy comes into the NFR trying to win a pile of money. Got a Frontier Rodeo horse. That's the company I represent. They've been winning. Horses bucking, bulls are bucking. But look at the bareback ride Caleb puts on. Really, this is the rankest horses in the business that were out tonight in the bareback riding. That's why we didn't have too many of those high 80 scores. This was an 85 score. These horses, 85% of the time, buck their guy off. Yeah, and in the bareback riding, that's tough to do.
Todd Soon in the steer wrestling, he got it on tonight. Been kind of a slow finals. Gets a good start, catches his steer. Already got the head set before his feet hit the ground. That's the ticket. That's the difference. You know, if you ain't won around by 7th, you're happy. Watch when he catches his steer. He's going to lock in the right horn, push down on the left. Left knee bent, right leg a little out in front of him. His momentum carries him down the arena. That makes that steer hit flat and fast. 3.6 wins the go-around. Guess what? Team roping, 3.6 also. That's not messing around now, I'm telling you. We've been waiting on this all week from Clay Trine. He sticks it on this one. Travis Graves, he's been a little tight every night, I thought. In other words, when he turns into heel one, he's a little close. Watch the difference tonight. When Clay ropes his steer, he's already going left, got it tight. Right there, watch Travis stop his horse. See how he stops, gets the separation. When he heels him, they get tight. 3.6. Same time, 2 different events. Same result, first.
Same result, saddle bronc riding, classic event of rodeo. Guess what? It's another Wright brothers night. Jesse Wright, watch this horse. Jump, kick, leg extension, everything just exactly like you want it. Doing really good. Guess what this horse's name is? The Gold Coast. Yeah, that's how come they get all the money. Good spur out. And that, most horse rides, whether it's bareback or saddle bronc riding, begin with a real solid mark out because that sets the stage and sets the pace for the rhythm.
We had a conversation last night, Shane Henchy and I said it's time to change horses. It's not working. He calls up Karen Herbst, Clint Cooper. Sweetness is in the barn out here. Hunter Heron just started riding last night. What a change sometimes will do to a guy. This horse of the year, of course. Shane Henchy's been roping good all week. He won second the first round. His horse got weaker and weaker as the week's gone on. I told him last night, if it doesn't work, fine, but change something. Don't do the same thing. 7-6 wins a go-around.
Well, you change something. How about the barrel race? Here comes Mary Walker. She gets to go first and on the top of the ground. Latte doing what he does, and that's win first. 4 times now out of 7.
Placed in 6 out of 7 rounds.
She was nervous tonight, more nervous than I've seen her, because you start getting down to the middle, you start hearing all of this stuff about the average and this, that, and the other. You got to keep up the barrels. Well, it's just like in a bull riding. If you just have to stay on,
it's hard.
That makes it harder.
She's only got 1 barrel down. She's going to win probably 3rd in average before it's over. That's probably our next world champion.
Everybody that's been on the show has been winning money. Get to the bull riding, Brett Stahl. Y'all got to meet him if you were here last night. Little bitty skinny kid from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Another Frontier Rodeo animal, cowboy compactor.
Who's bull?
Frontier Rodeo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Gets a little. I want you to watch the race. Watch the start. Watch this bull. Well, you didn't get to see that in the chute. Whenever he nods his head, this bull just reaches back, and I call it give him a little love tap. Hit him right in the face, and then jumps out. Well, he wins first place. Right here, he's going down in the well. The rope was right at his fingertips. He was really, really straining, but it just says 8 seconds.
Outstanding. Round number 7, Donnie and Joe doing it live. Good job, gentlemen, right there.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be complete with it. It ain't over till it's over.
It's not over till it's over. We put together a little rec reel for you this evening. And I tell you, actually, in the bareback riding, we could have had every dismount this evening.
That's because of the caliber of bucking horses. Rankest horse out, Frontier Rodeo's full baggage. Well, we get to see him. But look at this. Let's start the rec reel out. Win Ratliff on the Frontier horse full baggage was the bucking horse of the year last year. Win Ratliff. He's riding great. His first NFR. Wins the go-round last night. Well, he thinks he's riding really good. This big bay does put it on him. Feet come down, and then it's, over the tea kettle. Well,
you go from winning first to nothing on a horse like
Stephen
that.
Dent.
First to the dirt. Stephen Dent.
Spurring over the net.
Okay, this is tricking fancy bareback riding. No, this was a mistake, but these guys' hands are in the rigging so deep that you get jerked sometimes. There's nothing you can do. And then whenever you come down there and you hit that handle, with you know what you're going to hit it with, it's really difficult. And then the champ of the world, the guy that's winning everything.
Close.
Guess what this horse is? This is a Rafter G bucking horse. Belongs to my daddy. Okay, take that. KC Field. He is. I mean, watch his feet come down. And now look at this. I mean, this is the best guy on the planet. And he hit that thing with you know what he hit it with.
Neil Gay was loving that. All right, Tom Lewis in the steer wrestling. This steer's coming under him. In other words, see how that steer steps underneath his leg? He's trying to get some room to catch his steer, so he shoves his horse away from him. But he didn't mean to shove him that far, okay? As a hazer, you got two choices. You stay hooked and you keep him coming left, or you pull out to give him a little bit of room to catch that steer. Well, hazer pulled out right, Bulldog North pulled out left. It ain't nothing nice in the middle.
He came out of that smelling like a rose.
In the team rope, and here we go. All right, now.
What did he hit?
He hit the camera. Now, is the camera there every time? Watch his first swing. Watch his second swing when the camera turns. Right there as the camera turns, whack. Now, here's my only gripe about this. He gets out of the barrier, and he's got to throw right there. The first thing the guy standing up, the judge up top, says, well, he should have pulled up. He's in his second swing. He's already throwing his rope. He doesn't know what he hit. And you can't, you know, if you're throwing to win, it's going to happen like that. Now, is the camera part of the arena? They say, yes, it is. I'm all about that. But 14 other guys went, and the camera didn't hit anybody else's rope. So the only thing I said on this thing, and I watched it on TV, we got to see it over, me and Donnie, over twice. Travis Trine started, and when he started, he realized he left a little bit too early. So what he did is it's called throttling or pulling back. He pulled back on his horse and took a swing in the box. The camera already was going with the man. Now, did the cameraman think he was going to keep going and continue, or did he stay hooked and wait and then go with the man? That's too close to call. The boy hit the camera, cost him possibly $18,000. All it means is let him have another one and give him a chance. Bring him back.
Well, let me say something before you talk about. Well, go ahead and talk about this run again. Just
see it right here. All right, takes one swing. See him pull on his horse, so he's not leaving as fast as everybody thinks he is. And watch the camera turn. As the camera turns, it's a little behind him instead of where it's usually in front of the guy, and he hits it with the back of his swing. So that's the only thing I'm saying. It's a judgment call. They said it's part of the arena. No time. See ya. You know, that guy's had a hard week, and it just got harder.
I walked into the Bull Riders locker room after the performance and to get my jacket before I left to come over here. And Bo Schroeder, he was going to be on the show tonight. He bucked off tonight. He's still in the lead, or he's second, I think, in the average. But he bucked off tonight about 6 seconds. He lost his bull rope, and the bull threw him off. Got a good start and made a good attempt. But to two different Cowboys tonight, and last night, two different Cowboys. The judge on the back that watches for the fouls. The other thing they watch for is if a Cowboy is going to cheat and put his spurs in the rope, they call it catching a knot. Well, Cowboy scoots up on his bull rope.
Again tonight?
Judge is standing up over the top, says, don't get him, just as he's nodding his head. A huge distraction.
You don't want to hear that when the gate's swinging open.
You never hear it.
Subconsciously, if you just back off a tick,
it's just like him hitting that camera. It didn't jerk the rope out of his hand, but he missed because it throws your timing off,
just
throws
like
your concentration off.
He might have backed off just a tick to make sure subconsciously that he didn't hook the knot.
Well, Fred Betzer's not here. He just had his first son. He's now a daddy. He's back in Wisconsin. And so I went down to the pro judges room, and I talked to the head guy of the judging program, Clint Corey, and I said, Clint,
we had just had him at our end.
I said, Clint, tell those guys to be quiet. Mm-hmm. You know, do their job, but they don't. These guys qualified. They don't need any instructions. I said, it's a good thing that these boys are so nice.
Yeah, it's just like an our end. There's that one guy that stands on the chute. You know, you've seen him.
Yeah.
We've all seen him. His job is to watch the perimeter, watch the neck rope, watch the chute, watch everything in there and see if there's any, fouls. And that's all he has to do. He stands up top and he watches. And as the minute it happened, everybody hollered back at him, and he got all scattered. And he said, neck rope didn't foul him. Well, nobody said the neck rope. Were you watching what you were, everything?
The camera.
The camera that moved, and he didn't have a clue. So, like I say.
It's a tough job.
It's a tough job. We say it every night, but they don't volunteer and they get paid. So.
There you go. They're good, aren't they?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Yep, very good. I want to, even though we've got a question, I want to get right to this first guest because we've got a lot to do here this evening. Keep the questions coming up here. But this gentleman, I'm so glad that I called him a couple of nights ago and I said, could you come out and visit with us? He's going into the Hall of Fame, and there's not a nicer guy in the whole sport.
Or a more crowd-pleasing person to ever grace the Thomas and Mack.
5-time world champion saddle bronc rider Billy Etbauer is here this evening. Billy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wild Bill.
All right. Have a seat.
Bill. Dan, now one of my dear friends, and he'll be here in a couple days, is Trevor Brazil. But, the other night, he's like 4 flat or 4-1, or he's supposed to win around the team roping, Well, the last team gets him. He threw a bigger fit than he did if he'd have lost the gold buckle. But you know why, don't you? He's chasing somebody on go-around wins. He didn't get it. This man's still the king in the go-around wins.
This guy is the king.
Mack. Won more go-arounds than anybody in the business.
In one event.
51.
One event.
Yes. Yep.
Don't you know those other bronc riders are glad that he's not entered?
I could read off Billy's accolades forever. The 51, he's won $1 million just at the NFR, and as you said, first $3 million guys. There's Trevor, but one event Billy Etbauer's done that in. But just the picture of humility and a good guy, and heading into the Hall of Fame. And talk about that, Billy. This is big stuff.
Well, it's just I've been very blessed my whole career, and it's thanks to everybody. Everybody out there. These guys, it's everybody's support. Express Ranches through the years, I'd probably been done years ago if it wasn't for them. So, I can't thank them enough, and they're still with me today after the fact, to help Polly and the kids running barrels and stuff, But, it's not just me, I was just blessed to be able to make a living doing what I love to do, and it's everybody's support that helped me through it.
Well, and the records that you have, when you think back, Billy, and certainly Joe and Donnie can answer this too, you never expect, there's no way that you could expect 21 times consecutive to the National Finals rodeo. Those things just kind of stack up.
Well, yeah, and if there's anybody good at falling off of one, it'd be me, too. So, no, it's definitely a big blessing. No, and when you get Robert, Danny, and Craig, and we're all rodeoing together, and basically you got your team, and it doesn't really matter who you've got winning. You just want somebody in there, and I think that pushes you to ride better and stuff all the time, So, there's just so many things that tie together that help to make it better for us.
Bronc riders, whenever they'd all be back there and be fired up. Oh, I got a good one. I got a really good horse and everything. And then they look down and they go, oh, crap, the Etbauers are here. And you could just see the air go out of them. I mean, just kind of deflate them. But that was always fun. But give me your take on the caliber of saddle broncs that they brought to the rodeo this year.
It's been outstanding, and I guess I kind of fall out of it pretty quick, and I was never very good at remembering what the horses were and stuff like that. And there's been a lot of them that I've been on, but the other night, especially that TV pin deal, you've worked your whole career your whole year to get on horses like that, and for that many guys to have that tough a night, those horses were phenomenal, and even as a whole, kind of the eliminator round was pretty good, for everybody. So, no, the horses have been great, and, I just wish I was 20 where I could sit here and knock heads with them.
Don't we all? Yeah.
You know what, Dan? Here in the way they run the rodeo, the tie-down rope is after the bronc riding, and it always has. And this is, I don't build up off of a lot of other people. I kind of had my own deal to build me up to what I was going to do, but I would get, you have to time the event, guys. There's a lane back there, and you got to you line your horses up when the bronc riding starts, how you're going to rope, and then you're supposed to stay in this line and stay with your horse and all that. And every night that Billy Etbauer was here riding broncs, I'd get off and go watch him ride before I roped. Because, number one, he built me up and got me ready because he tried so hard every time. And number two, he was either going to win first, second, or he might hit the dirt when the buzzer went off, but it was because he was trying to get one more jump out of him. And this man built me up for a lot of years right here in the calf roping.
When you think back over it, Billy, and it's there's so many horses, so many different things, and I could ask these guys too. Is there a highlight? Is there one NFR that you won so many of these titles in that 10th round here? But is there something that stands out to you as a memory after the 21 times coming here?
Well, probably the most memorable, that most people are going to remember is Cool Alley in '04, and it was Bucking Horse of the Year that year. And it come right down the wire. I had to ride her, and it just all worked out. And I was, 10th round, set the record in '93, and I had separated ribs and everything by the time I got done with hitting the ground and stuff, But it was just something that you couldn't really set it up any better, and thank God it all worked out.
And is it more frightening getting on a bad horse or being on David Letterman's show?
I think they're both pretty torturous. But that David Letterman show, I don't know if I've ever been more scared in my life, But I just like that, I think he was very generous to me. He really took care of me, and it was a lot of fun, and it come off good, so that was what I was hoping that he'd do, was take care of me, and that's what he did.
We got to be careful. Bill O'Reilly's next.
Well, they couldn't have had a better ambassador for the sport of rodeo on David Letterman or anything else than Billy Etbauer. And tell me, Holly and the kids are not with you this time. They're out riding your horses. What are they up to?
Yeah, well, JC, Cord's 16 now, and I can't imagine, but he's taller than I am. And but JC's 14, and I'm riding her stirrups now, and JC's 11, or Treg's 11. So anyway, they've got a barrel race, a series deal that goes on basically once a month through the winter, and it's like a 7 rodeo series. And so anyway, this is the second series of it, and JC sure wasn't going to miss it. And the other two, they run barrels too, and so Holly's basically got to stay home and help JC out and stuff. And then plus we board recipient mares for Oklahoma City Equine. We've got 150 head of them, so between the horses and the kids and the schooling and everything, I think Holly's got a full-time job.
Still
don't get real comfortable. My daughter's 28 and she still has my credit card. You're in trouble, buddy.
As I said when I called Billy the other night, he's just so gracious about coming and sharing his time. And so I wanted this opportunity before he goes into the Hall of Fame for you to all pay off this gentleman and thank him for all of the memories here at the National Finals Rodeo. Billy Etbauer, 5-time world champion. Billy Etbauer. Pretty darn good, huh?
Well, whenever you talk about champions, it's easy to bring his name up.
Oh, my gosh. Just a great guy. Donnie, I know you've got somebody
I
you wanted to
got a
acknowledge
special little shout-out out in the audience out there. I don't want to embarrass them, but Terry and Shelley Starnes. Terry's one of our pro rodeo announcers, does a lot of our frontier rodeos, and he and his wife, Shelley, are celebrating their 31st anniversary with National Finals tonight.
Very good. It's good to have you here with us tonight. Happy anniversary. Is that right?
We got the Kiwis in the house. My New Zealand rodeo friends are all down here in the front right
here.
here.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, they came a long way to watch this show. These are all my New Zealand guys from
Bruce.
down there.
Welcome from New
Bruce
Zealand.
Introduced himself to me.
Bruce, Pat, they're all here. Dave, they're all here. We're having a big time with them.
Welcome. Well, and we're in luck also. We have the guys from the Extreme Bulls up here. We have Sam Dunn over here.
Sam Dunn, Amos Tiger.
Oh,
all
you
right.
know what? You saw that fabulous open, and I want to say to the guys here, we're glad to have Amos here from the Seminole tribe. And as we come right around that, you see Sam Dunn, but see the two gentlemen in uniform right there.
Two military
Did
guys.
you see the opening tonight at the rodeo? Stand up for us, will you, fellas?
Y'all stand
Right
up for
there.
us.
Yes, sir.
That's why we get to do this and say what we want to, because these fellas.
Thank you for what y'all do.
Thank you very much for being
Thanks
here.
to Dan Stark and Boyd Gaming making all that possible, and they were in the opening at the rodeo, and a real treat to get to meet some of this
and
fellas.
Dan Stark, very cool opening this evening. We appreciate that. Also, we have the folks, one of our sponsors, the Tiger. No, not that Tiger. The other Tiger. The Tiger. Where are the folks at from the liniment? Yes, are they on this side over here?
Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb. Joe is a fan, by golly, right over here.
And I tried to warn Donnie. He was going to put it on that big bowling injury he got back there in his ass.
I got it right back here, and I put it on. And, hey, check this out. It works.
I'm going to enjoy doing this. It's Golden Tiger.
The Golden Tiger. Yep.
Thank you very much.
You know,
the irony is we have Tiger sitting over here, so it's Golden Tiger liniment. It's right there on his shirt. We appreciate so much you being here.
Golden Tiger, and thank you so much. But, boy, I tell you what, that stuff is hot. You know, I put it on my butt, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to roll over, you know, and get it anywhere else and everything. And
where else would you have
I
got
rubbed it all in, and I turned.
Don't forget now, this is a bowling injury.
I hit the clicker on the the remote to turn on the TV. You know, I'm going to let it just kind of soak, and then I rub my eye. Oh yeah, but it is hot.
Now we can see why he got hurt bowling if he does.
Yeah.
You know.
We're glad you're here. Golden Tiger liniment. We appreciate that very much. We're going to do something different for you. Our next guest here, that's why this big screen is behind Joe. This is a great new rodeo game, and the guy that's invented this thing is here with us this evening, and these guys are going to do a little bit of, this is going to be fun to watch. Would you welcome Woody Addison is here this evening.
This is not on a script
Come
either.
on out here, Woody. Good to have you here. Give him a hand, Woody. Yes, he is here from Top Hand Rodeo Tour. And what we're going to do, Woody, is let's just briefly tell us how you came up with this idea, and then we'll have these two play the game.
Well, my partner Tracy Kearley and I had a vision of building a team roping game, and it just kind of morphed into a whole rodeo game. And so we've got a game that's for Xbox 360 on Kinect.
And what we're going to do, and because you can do everything on this, you can team rope, you can ride bulls, you can rope calves. What else can you do?
We also have mounted shooting.
Okay.
We have some mini games in there, some shooting games. We're riding bulls, we're tie-down roping, team roping, barrel racing.
Very good. And what we're going to do is, and Woody, you're set up during the day where you set up so people can try this as well.
We're at the one of the Cowboy Christmases here in town.
Okay.
We're set up.
Very good. Well, I want you to quickly demonstrate how this works, and then we're going to have Joe ride a bull, and we're going to have Donnie rope a calf, and I think it's going to be entertaining.
This is going to be close to bowling.
Yes, yeah, the same movement coming up there for Donnie. So, Woody, show us how it works over here, and let Joe and Donnie watch you a little bit.
Oh man!
Probably two guys out of 1,000 that don't play none of this crap.
I'm sitting here thinking, how nervous Billy Etbauer was on David Letterman. I'm feeling that right now.
Okay, let's do a little bull riding there. And so we've got the line down here, and you can all see it on the big screen.
Hey, I got a beard.
He's warming up already, stretching on this deal. We should brag on Woody, too. They just got a deal with Walmart now that Walmart is going to be carrying all this.
Welcome to Arena. I hope you rider works the rope.
Joe, this is what you're going to be doing. Oh, I'm liking it. Joe's face.
You into your hand, Joe.
Hell, if riding was that easy, I'd have tried it.
Now you're in trouble. Oh, that was a good recovery.
How damn long you got to ride one in this thing?
I think, Woody, should we have Joe try the bull riding while it's ready? Joe, here, let's put your microphone right down over here. Oh, this is good.
Let me move in case he gets some of this rocking and rolling and sloshing.
You gotta wonder what goes through a top hand's mind at a time like this.
There's tougher bulls in the pen than this one, so our top hand needs to show up big to win money on this bull.
Where'd it go?
Is this top hand ready to ride?
He's waving like a rodeo queen. There you
This
go.
bull is more rope and steer than Bruce. Well, let's see what happens.
Now you've done it. You started it. Yeah.
That bull's acting up inside that chute. That'll play a head game with you.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Sitting back, getting comfortable.
Move your butt, Joe.
Right and slurry.
My mom could ride this boy.
You're weighting him down.
Sometimes it's the bull, but other times the bull gets you.
Oh, I can't wait now.
Show him, Woody. Woody's going to show you, Donnie, how to rope the calf.
Oh.
Joe, we need a tube of the Golden Tiger over there. I think for him, he's got his back. You did good, Joe.
I just got a little proud there and went to hat with me like Donnie did.
Yes,
Got me
I
there
saw
at
a
the
little
end.
bit of Donnie Gay coming out.
Neil Gay would have met me at the out gate with a to the back, son. It's ass whipping time.
I'm already lost.
There's a calf right there.
Hell, anybody can do this.
Looks like a girl.
Welcome to the
Okay, as soon as they get their horse set, they'll give
That's
a nod
Donnie
and release
Lynn
the
Gay.
calf.
Really.
We're going to swing your rope.
tighten up and get off that horse.
Slack, get down.
Calf on the ground and fast.
Oh, we do need liniment. We sure do.
This is a long 6 seconds.
All right.
You thought that bull riding was going to be bad. Let me hold that microphone. Let me.
Got to stand behind the green line here,
Hey,
Donnie.
there's
right
a line there. You already broke the barrier. You already
go.
cheated. Get behind the barrier.
Put your hand over there, Donnie. This will be good.
Yeah, that shit ain't so easy, is it? Huh?
They can't hesitate here, but they also can't leave the box too early, and that's a tough balance.
Hand up.
Another contestant.
Good for your horse.
ready.
Hey, don't. You got to ride that horse. Use that left hand.
Nobody ever said this was easy.
Try it one more time, Donnie.
Just make it obvious.
Hey, I hate to tell you,
gotta
but
hit at the
mine was a
barrier.
hell of a lot better than yours.
Try it one more time, Donnie. Yeah.
I just thought of something at the next Frontier Rodeo. I got to get an extra calf. Let Donnie run one.
The string, the rein.
That left hand, we could get your job as a breeder. Drop it down a little bit lower.
Hold it there.
There you go. Nod that head.
Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Now your right hand, Donnie. Throw
Oh,
that
stick it on him. Stick it on him, Donnie. Yeah, you got him.
Run and get him. Run.
Go get him. Flank him, flank him. Pick up. Hit the ground.
Flank the calf. Get him on the ground.
There you go. Now stick it on him. Grab his legs. Hands up.
Hey!
Yes, sir.
It's a long walk, ain't it? It sure is, Bobby T. Let's see.
Hey.
Shut up.
That was so good. That was so good.
That was awesome.
That deal's all right. That's a fun deal. You got. That's a game right there.
Thank
buddy.
you.
They
That's
haven't.
cool.
After this week. Liniment hell, I need oxygen. After this week's over, they have an exclusive at Walmart. I'm not ever going back to Walmart.
I know what to get him for
Tell you
Christmas,
what,
huh?
Dan, I just hope somebody got to film him riding that horse.
I don't know if you could see, but the horse was smiling.
This is a family-friendly game.
Woody, thank you so much for coming out. Be sure
I
to
hate
watch
your
for
guts,
this
Woody.
game. Woody Addison, give him a hand.
I mean, he thought of this himself. How about this? That's pretty
And
good.
my partner, Tracy.
Yes, Tracy. Thank you so much, Woody.
I love coming someplace every single day and making a fool out of myself.
One thing about it, there's room to get better for both of us in those events, okay?
Well, you know what? I was just sitting there watching you ride that bull, and I'm thinking, I got to quit fantasizing about maybe, possibly I could ride one if I saw one that I liked and everything, because I got about 30 pounds and ain't never been on one before. So it'd be like the first time. Yeah.
I tried one time, and I realized right quick that my butt was too round and my ass was too big because I hit when the gate opened.
That was outstanding, guys. If that's not on YouTube in about 10 minutes, Donnie. Oh my gosh, that was darn good. Very good. Let's move to our next. And I hate to have this guy follow that, but not too many guys could. But this young man can. He is the reigning world champion in the tie-down rope, and Tuf Cooper is here tonight.
Right.
Yeah. Hey.
Aren't you glad I didn't ask you for any advice?
I'm glad you didn't show up. You probably know how to play that stuff.
Y'all guys didn't grow up on video games.
No, we didn't.
That was entertaining, wasn't it, Tuf?
Yes, sir. That was pretty.
Especially from the behind. It was good watching. Yeah. It's so good to have you here, champ. How does that feel, world champion?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yes, sir.
Of course, Joe's been watching this young man since he was just a little guy.
About 9 or 10 years old when he first started roping, and then when he was about 11 or so, between the time of 10 and 12, when did y'all move to Decatur?
Yes, sir, about 12, 13.
Okay, from 10 to 12, then when we'd stop in at Childress and stay, and, Tuf and Cliff was always game to go to the arena, and we'd play around, we'd rope, tie, and, when I started going by Decatur when he was there, he was about 15 years old, I guess, and that's when I told my wife when I left there, I got there about 1 o'clock one morning, and he was standing at the gate, wanting to know if I wanted to flank and tie, and hell, that was the farthest thing from my mind that I wanted to do, but you don't put a fire out like that, and I said, you bet, let's tie some, and it was from then on, it's been right to the gold buckle.
What I wanted to say to you, Tuf, we've had Shane Hanchy here, Corey Solomon, Justin Moss. They've all talked about Joe Beaver and what he's done for their roping. You tell us what Joe has done for you.
A lot growing up, I get a lot of opportunities being Roy's son, getting Joe, stopping by the house, stopping by Joe's house, getting pointers from him, being 12 years old. It's a great advantage to be able to get a pointer from the best in the world. Now growing up, get to call him. And another one, he's right there, right beside the chute at the Thomas and Mack, and I get to ask him. We get to talk about my calf. We get to talk about roping, and he sees roping through different eyes. He always sees something different than somebody else than the most people, and it's things that most people that they can't see. And he'll see something. He can see something from last night's run that might happen in 3 runs, and he'll be telling me to capitalize on it. And to be able to get that advice, throughout 10 rounds, it sure is great.
It's a wonderful thing to have, and Donnie has it the same in the bull riding. These guys, their eye is just unbelievable to me.
But let me tell you the difference. There's a lot of people that at a venue like this, and Donnie's the same way, I'm sure. Or if there's a lot of people around, they want to ask you they want to be involved with you to get you to answer them, but they really don't want your opinion. You know what I mean? They're really not looking for the answer. They're just looking for the association. This kid's got a gold buckle. He doesn't need me to tell him what I think or what I believe, but he knows if he asks me, I give him my true thoughts. And being a world champion already, he doesn't have to listen to me. I'm an old guy and I'm done. But he wants to be so much better than everybody else that we talk every night during the bronc riding. We talk about what's going to happen. And it's that has the little bit, I always say in the heart of a champion, you'll find a little different beat. That's the different beat this kid has. That's why that first one is one of about 10 or 12 that he's got he could win.
I think so too. Tuf, let's take a look at you at work here. First thing we have up is round number 1. So let's take a look at that first, guys. If we'll roll that, and Tuf, talk about it.
This year we got off to a good start. Roan Mare was feeling really good right there at first. And just kind of brought everything from the practice pen to the first round. And I had a really good calf that night, and it worked out our way.
Well, I've been saying this every night, Tuf, on TV, and we talked about it when I saw you and stuff. You know, from the last, you know, I'm not out there to see people all the time anymore, but when Tuf walked up the other day and they were tying the calves, I looked at him and I said, ooh, different kid. Look how strong he's gotten. He's big, and watch the front end of that calf. See, when he picks that front end up, and that's how you string them. That's what we talked about 2 nights ago. When you flank that calf and you catch him in midair, people like that, you're supposed to be strong enough and your technique's good enough that you pick up and step back. And the next time when they hit the ground, they're on their side with the picking string on the front foot. So many guys we've seen, and I'm talking about from Cody O, Hunter Heron, Fred Whitfield, I can go down the list, Shane Hanchy, they're not flanking these calves this week. And when you don't flank them, you can't string them. And if you don't get them strung fast, you don't tie them fast. The biggest difference in Tuf Cooper is he's got a bigger catch loop, and it's a more range. And this is a macho now. This is a man. He flanks them like a man does.
Let's talk about round 4 now as well. I think we've got that also back there. Another good round for you, Tuf. You can talk about it.
Oh, see, I left a little early, and I pulled at the barrier. So I got to throw it real fast and had a real good calf, strung my hand, made a mistake on the ground, and just tried to slow down and two-hand time.
I just like to I like to watch that little horse. Doesn't really stop, just and really kill him and lets you handle your rope. But you're down there, but the calf never gets drug away from you while you're trying to tie.
Huge in this event. They cannot drag. They have to pull. Now watch her. See the rope pulling? She'll pull the calf, but as soon as they hit, boom, they're done. They don't move. That's what a good calf horse has got to do. Now, that in the start, that things happened tonight, but let me tell you what happened tonight. She kind of gave him a little hop right there. In other words, he said he started early that night, which we talked about this. Last night, the calf didn't leave, went to the left. He broke the barrier. So tonight, he was trying to get a sharp go. She kind of lifted a little bit. And here's 2 things you do. One, you panic. You come across there and take a couple swings and just send it at him, take yourself out of the race. Or 2, you do what you have to catch up and tie him down and stay in the hunt. And that's what he did tonight. So the starts you were getting the last couple nights haven't been. And tell me, was there a little bit different feel there tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir. Definitely a little bit of different feel. We plan on going out tomorrow and running a few practice calves, changing it up and getting it back right.
Ooh, I sure am glad I was going to have to text you when you left. In the middle of the week, sometimes it doesn't hurt to get one out of here. In other words,
you're talking about the horse.
Yes, get the horse out of here. Take him there's a couple places we rope around here, or they do, and get them out there and score a couple. Maybe make her blast outside of the little, confounds of Thomas and Mack. Make her fire a little harder like she was the first of the week, because mathematically, average, go around, all that adding, subtracting. There's a lot of money left, and you're still in a good spot to win another championship.
Yes, sir. We just got to make the best 3 runs of our life.
Did you feel tough this time coming in as a champion? Any added pressure to you at all to perform and live up to that, or just how many NFRs is this for you? Is this 5 now?
Yes, sir. There's no added pressure. Somebody's going to have to earn one this year. Someone's going to win one this year, and there's definitely confidence that people give me because they expect me to maybe come back and repeat. But, I'm going to have to just keep trying to stay more focused and keep busting my tail as much as I can, because I know it's a year-to-year deal. And, last year isn't going to help me get this one this year unless I stay focused and try to put the work to it.
And it is a 3-man race still.
Yes.
It came in being a 3-man race, and y'all are here for the best 3 rounds of the rodeo in the tie-down roping, because it's a 3-header, basically. Justin Moss is about 3 seconds ahead of you maybe after tonight. Yes. Maybe 4, so I don't think 4. I think 3.2 or 3 or something. Cody is about 3 seconds behind their spot in the average. Now, that being said, Justin's winning 3rd, and y'all are winning 4th and 5th, I think, after tonight, or maybe 5th and 6th.
Yes, sir. He moved up, and I stayed where I was.
Okay, you're 6th. Cody's 5th. He's 4th.
Sir.
So there we go. 3rd, 5th, and 6th. So with the next 3 rounds, if Tuf makes the runs he plans on making, and he ties one in 7-something to win good go-around money, that's also going to help him in the average, and it's going to make Justin have to be 8 or 9 to stay ahead of him. So, in all honesty, I think he's in great shape because it's a lot easier to tie 3 fast than it is 10.
Okay. What I wanted to
he has a point.
I was going to say, even I know that. That's, yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, Tuf, I always talk about Donnie's great sense of history with the sport of rodeo. Not only can he tell you every bull he rode, he can tell you every one Larry Mahan rode and all these. So Fred Whitfield was here last night, and we talked about his career and the fact that he now, and he just flat sat here and he said, I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to know, are you getting a sense of the history? I mean, these guys are twice your age out there now. Cody Ohl, Fred is out there. This is a special national finals in the tie-down, I think. Are you getting a sense of that with these guys?
Absolutely. You know how cool it is to see Fred Whitfield have the year that he's had, where he's at in his career. It's so great for us young guys to see him continue to put the work in and want to be the best and still come out here and perform, not just 10 rounds at the finals, but all year long. It's really been cool to see him, right here, him at this point in his career. Yes, sir. But, that's what we were talking about the other night, just how cool it is and how special this NFR is with Fred and everybody out here. I miss Trevor, though. I definitely miss Trevor out there in the calf roping.
We talked a little bit about Shane Hanchy the other night and how generous you were with the horse. His horse got
payback. It was a payback, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. You know, he let me do it.
He sure did.
4
and you
or
don't
5
forget
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, Tuf rode Riata. First year you made him?
Yes, sir.
Wasn't it? Yeah, first year you made him. Tuf didn't really have anything as good as that. And he rode Riata out here the whole 10 rounds and then rode him a few rounds the next year. So, that's what it's all about out there. And I talked about this the other night. Roy told me, years ago, we have to like each other. We have to look out for each other because there's going to be a lot of guys that don't like us winning a lot. And in the young deal, it's the same way. It's tough. Shane, Corey, there's a lot of them out there, the young guys that are going to have to bond and take care of each other because, like Donnie said, if you stick it on them 5 days a week, they aren't too glad to see you those other 2 days sometimes, But that's rodeo. That's the way it is. So, it's neat to see them pay each other back.
Good news is this group of guys, and I think we've seen a lot of changing of the guard in all of the events in rodeo, and not that the old guys still can't win and compete at a high level, but they're having to work at it just a lot harder to be able to stay close. But you guys are a heck of a lot nicer guys than we were when we were your age. I'll promise you that.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I do.
What I want to say to Tuf before we let him get away here, and he travels with Corey and Shane and just 3 fine young men. Are you 22 now? Is that
yes, sir.
You're old timer.
Oh, so old.
It's old Donnie's boots.
And I'm going to tell you something. If that game would have been up with Shane Hanchy and him up here, it's stupid. They can do any of that. They do it all the time. It's competitive. It's not fun. It's a different, like you said.
How much will it cost for you not to tell what you saw?
Whatever it is, I'll double it to tell.
Everybody is after this young man, and that is going to get worse and worse as he goes along. But you can tell by talking to this guy, and he's here because of Joe, and I appreciate that. This is a quality young man, and the future is bright for not only the tie-down roping, but for rodeo because of guys like Tuf Cooper, and we appreciate so much.
Let me throw a little something
ahead.
in there. We've been hashing this out, Donnie, all week and Dan, about the all-around. Nobody gives him, Trevor's got.
Yes.
Well, you know what? March, when was it? March we sat down and talked about that?
Yes, sir.
Maybe Glen Rose or somewhere.
Yes, sir.
We're at some rodeo, and I did.
It's Frontier Rodeo.
Yeah, Frontier Rodeo. And Tuf come riding up in the team roping, and he rode by, and, there's 4 or 5 guys, talking about, so I guess he's going to team rope, blah, blah. So we and him got to talking, and I said, look, start now and be ready when your chance arises because it's going to come sooner or later, a chance to win the all-around. And as good as you rope now, I waited a long time before I went to team roping and getting serious about it. And he bought him a good head horse. He got him a couple partners. Didn't get to rope everywhere this year, but got to rope quite a bit. Fool around won $15,000 or so in the team roping. But guess what? That's getting his feet wet in the deal to where if brother-in-law stumbles again, then we got a chance to win the all-around. And we talked about it. It's doable. it's doable. You got talent like this kid, will, desire, and try. The heart comes with it.
This guy, keep an eye on this young man. We all are. Tuf Cooper, thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank y'all, guys.
Outstanding.
All right. Well, I would like. I got some friends here, some people that might be some of them. It's the first time they've been to national finals tonight. And
introduce them, Donnie.
The Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation people. Would y'all stand up and just be recognized here? We got 10, 12, 14 people
very
here.
Good.
We're so
Very
glad
good.
that y'all came to join us, and we appreciate y'all being a part of the national finals tonight. Thank you.
Were any of you guys up in Cody year before last for the summer when the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation came up and all? Yes, they came to our show there at my little theater up there. And is
Dan
our buddy
Miller's Cowboy Music Review.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in
you
Cody,
ought to hear
come
this
see
sucker
us.
sing. Yeah,
but it's good to have you all here. Is David Allen still the fearless leader of everybody here? And I was telling that to Donnie the other day.
He's the guy that took pictures of me on Red One in 1976. He was the official photographer of the PRCA. Yeah.
And now he's running the CEO, I guess, right? Of the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. Donnie, we're glad to have you folks here. Very glad. Donnie, we've got a couple of questions. Let's do this one first.
Joe's going to do this one. Do the flagging judges in the timed events change during the NFR, or do the same judges flag all 10 rounds?
They flag all 10 rounds, and they are supposed to be voted on by the top 15. But there was a couple years that we all got together and nobody voted for the guy flagging certain events. So I don't know quite how they do that. But they do flag all 10 rounds. They don't change. Once they're here, that's their job.
Okay. Let's get these other two gentlemen out. They just walked in the door. I can hear them back there talking to Tuf, but they just got here. These are the guys that I can't tell you how many times they've announced the National Finals Rodeo.
And our 2012 Announcer of the Year.
The Announcer of the Year is here as well. Bob Tallman is here, and Boyd Polhamus. If you would welcome these soft-spoken gentlemen.
Bob.
Look at him, strutting his stuff. How are you?
That's what he's soft-spoken.
Bob and Boyd, I hate to tell you this because it's the worst thing to say to somebody, but...
Do we let them two sit together?
Yeah. Tell him what you want for Christmas. You two missed it. We had the rodeo game, and Joe rode bulls. And
did
Donnie,
you have Woody?
And Donnie,
hey, I'm going to tell you this. I rode bulls a hell of a lot better than he rode calves.
You know what? Look at y'all.
You would have paid double to be here.
I want to see. I'm going to YouTube tonight to watch this. Okay.
Hey, be sure and watch how he rides his horse.
Did y'all practice at all?
No.
Okay, because Woody's texting me. And look, I got to tell y'all, this is a phenomenal game. Okay, and you got to see it for yourself. But I told Woody when he first called me and wanted to do some stuff out here. So we got to get you on NFT. Because it would be so cool to make Donnie rope calves and Joe ride bulls.
So that's your idea, huh?
It was my idea. Yeah.
So somehow that doesn't surprise me.
So anyway, as you saw, it's a real cool game. But he's texting me. He's like, man, we got to get Donnie and Joe to practice. And I go, this is just a game. This isn't for money. What you need to do is get $1,000 on the winner, and these boys will go to practice.
You have to go check it out.
I wish I would have saw it.
It's good.
Yeah, good.
Wasn't it, folks? It's good. It's darn good watching.
But Joe won?
Handily.
Pardon the pun.
So to speak.
Hey,
look, both these guys hate losing. So.
Hey, he'd have been good if he could have got his horse to run.
I need to borrow another. I got to get one of Tuf's horses. I should have called him.
Did you catch? Were you able to try to scoop the feet? Because you got to scoop really wide to get the feet to come up.
He roped and he flanked.
I actually got completion the second time. But it's been in the timed events. I mean, I rope calf, bulldog, team rope. But all my times and it's consistent. It's eventually. That's how I'm timed.
Hey, I will take up
taking one into your hand, doing this.
Hey, that guy was good till I went to hat whipping him and he blew me off.
Oh, yeah, he's fanning him.
It was good
That
watching.
house broke, these guys. What a great Christmas gift, though, for the rodeo fan, man.
It was. I told him I got to get one of those for Donnie for Christmas. Outstanding.
Did they have me and Bob calling it or not? Because we did the voiceover for the game.
No, it was just.
It was raw.
Well, now that I know that you and Woody were talking, now I know why that calf roper looked like a woman.
Look, you are a very famous man, okay? But I got to tell you, it cracked us up tonight, and that wasn't just me laughing. But there were two women that came down to the announcer's stand and prior to the rodeo, and they're leaning over the ledge, and they reach over and they go to Benji Bentley. They go, "Hey, Benj," or they don't call him Benj. They go, "Aren't you Donnie Gay?"
Poor Benji. He used to be a friend of mine.
Right. We should get him on this game and see if he can ride bulls.
I have to tell you this just quickly because you talk about Donnie. We were doing a PBR finals once here at the Thomas and Mack, and clear up in the top of the stands, there was this sign was going back and forth. I want to roll in the hay with Donnie Gay. I want to roll in the hay.
Who was he?
Nice guy from California. Very nice guy.
Did he stand up? Did you see how tall he was?
Well, he and I think you're still writing, aren't you? Just a pen pal thing. But he's a nice guy. Yeah.
This tall thing being tall is way overrated. Everybody's the same height laying down.
Exactly right. Right.
It don't mean nothing.
Well, you saw Tuf Cooper here just a second ago.
You told me you weren't ever going to tell that story.
Well, that's a true story. It was a classic.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
That's why he wanted to keep it secret.
And I'm kidding. He wasn't from California. He was from Texas. But he was a nice guy. Anyway, you had a chance to visit with Tuf as he went out tonight.
We did.
And he was talking about his sense of Fred. And you missed Billy Etbauer. He was here earlier. We got to pay off Billy Etbauer. But this tie down, and Joe kind of talked about it a little bit. This tie down still is Joe. Yeah,
I said a 3-man race and a 3-head roping.
Undecided. I know. You pay the average. I say that because we still got 3-headed rope.
Yes.
And at 18,000, that's just shy of 60 grand. Okay. But Justin would win it by virtue of finishing third in the average. He hasn't really out-roped Tuf here on money. Tuf's the number one money winner. Okay. But when you pay 30 grand for finishing third in the average, he beats Tuf by about 16 grand.
That's if Tuf won the 60,000.
He's won 60 so far.
If he wins the 60,000 Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
If he wins 60,000 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you don't have to even sharpen your pencil.
But the only other race where that, and because of Donnie and I's debate, I looked at this because I felt like I was going to have to come out here and defend myself, and if I did, I'd lose. Okay, if I tried to defend myself, I'd lose. Because really the only guy that's winning the average that's going to win the world right now is Casey Field, and if he didn't get hurt, too bad tonight.
Boy, he took a jerk.
And that's the only boy. It's tough to hurt that guy.
JW too. His hips hurt.
Right. But see, the average. That's the other race. Is your race? Is the bull riding? Because Cody Teal is one spot above J-Dub. The difference between what they're winning in the average. Cody's winning third. J-Dub's winning fourth. Cody wins 8,000 more in the average and wins the world by 5,000. So it's his average position. But those are the only two places. Other than the fact that Justin's using a third-place finish to get there. Other than that, Luke Branquino would win the world tonight, but Les Shepperson is within 7,000 if you pay the average. He's got to stay and get that 47 grand to keep up with Luke, okay? But if he does, he's still within 7,000, so that's a third-place or fourth-place finish in a round. But just walking through them, you ready? The most interesting one? Team roping.
Really?
You could have a split title. Right now, Chad Masters and Trevor Brazil, if you pay the average, are with it less than $1,000 one another. Less than 1,000, okay? And Patrick would beat Cleo for the world by 8 grand. You could have another split title in the team roping where Chad Masters wins the world as the header and Patrick Smith wins the world as a healer. Jesse Wright is really closing the door.
Is that divorce or is that?
I hope not. But Trevor and Patrick didn't help themselves tonight. Now, I mean but look. Now then I go to this and I go, okay, Boyd, this is true. So when the money's on the line, Les or Luke?
Luke.
When the money's on the line, Trevor or Chad?
Champ.
Trevor.
That's my saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and they have the advantage in the bull riding. You know, Cody Teal, J.W. Harris. The only advantage there is J.W. Harris has got 3 gold buckles, so he has the advantage in experience, knowing that he can win, and Cody still has that until you put it on your belt. You don't really know if you can win, but that's so close that
Can I ask you a
it's not even
question
funny.
about that, though? Because really, you're right. It's within $5,000, and so I want your opinion on this. J-Dub's 27, okay? Cody's 20. J-Dub's been a lot more bulls, and it's kind of like a running back in the NFL, you know? Once you start getting some wear and tear and everybody's aiming for you and they're beating you up, and bull riding is not friendly to your body. I think it might have been the burgers, but seriously, I want to ask
Bluebell.
I want to ask Donnie Gay this question. How much wear and tear, you know, you got a young 20-year-old versus a 7-time qualifier for the NFR. He's been out here. J-Dub's taken him. You know, he rode them all last year with that ankle, you know. Physically, where does youth factor into Cody's advantage, if at all, over experience and J-Dub being used to winning in pressure situations?
Well, it depends on how serious the hip injury. I mean, if he knows from the doctors that he's not going to hurt himself any worse, and all he has to deal with is the pain, then there's no advantage. But if he doesn't really know for sure if he's going to be able to stand it that first jump out of the chute, advantage Cody Teal by a lot. You know, and J.W. Harris is 27, and he's got 6-8 more years to be able to punish himself like he's done and make it pay. But it's just like any football game, any sporting endeavor, any competition whatsoever. If your horse bows a tendon, if you pull a groin muscle, if you break your thumb on your throwing hand, it don't matter if you're in the playoffs or not. You're not going to have as good a time. So it just remains to be seen. I'm hopeful that J-Dub his health is where all he's got to do is tough it out. And if he's there, then man, we got a next 3 days. It'll be really exciting. And the other guys factor in, and what really gets confusing about all that average stuff, it's who wins ahead of the guys that are trying to win the world. You know, and you never really, and that's why bull riders usually don't even worry at all about that, other than like Cody Teal did. The reason he's 1 bull up is because he would have went against Cody Lambert and Ty Murray. You know, well, you entered to win first. No, you didn't. You not in that. You entered because you're trying to be the champion of the world. And this is a business. It's not a party. And so he took a 60-point score instead of a re-ride. He's 1 bull up in that average that's going to pay. But the average is probably going to be 1 on 6 or 7 bulls, 7 bulls maybe.
And we're going to see the ease again now. Between now and the final Saturday night, we're going to see the big pin that is famous for getting you planted. The one where Clayton Savage won the round with a 78.
They ride 2 bulls.
Right. So that's going to be a great equalizer too.
Yes.
And the last 2 nights, I'm telling you, the last 2 nights some guys can't take it. Some guys that have won, I mean, they win every year. They win 80,000, and it comes to the last 2 rounds, and they look like that Marilyn Monroe picture over that vent with the dress blowed up over their head. They can't do nothing. And that's a fact, isn't it?
It is. Well, I have quoted you so many times from this show at rodeos where I have short rounds, Dodge City, Nampa, and I've quoted Joe, funny things happen in short rounds. Okay, well, the 9th and 10th round are short goes. So I'll ask you this question. You nervous at all about Justin Moss handling that pressure?
Yeah, I am, because he's put himself in defensive mode, and defensive mode will get you beat.
In other words, he's trying to win his average check.
Tonight he had a calf that he knew, everybody in the pen knew, that all he had to do was keep him standing on his feet. And he ties him in 7-5 to 8 flat. And after you already see Cody be 8-6, probably not going to win nothing, after you see Tuf falter and be 10 or 12, that's when you have to put your foot on their throat and grind it in. And he didn't do it.
I asked you that because I thought, and look, there's no bigger fan of Justin Moss.
Me neither.
No, right, we love him. Love him. But I'm a little concerned about that. And then I think, okay, if day monies are eventually, because I listen to my champions here, if day monies are eventually going to carry you to a world title, who would you put the most money on?
Cody O.
That's going to win day monies. I'm going to put on Cody and Tuf.
Just because Cody has not been the Cody we're used to, but he's been that close, 3 or 4 rounds. But, Mike Arnold was on him tonight, and we were stopped and had us a big powwow about it. If Cody O stands him up, he wins 2 out of the next 3 rounds. If he keeps jerking them down, he won't. But back to what you always say, too, it all factors in because it's all money that counts.
Outstanding stuff, you guys. I want to compliment both of you. We talked about the opening, the Boyd Gaming opening this evening, the job that you guys did on that this evening. You see over here we have had some members of the military with us here tonight, and you guys did an outstanding
Let me just say this, though.
job.
Look, the credit goes to Dan, because Dan Stark did a ton of preliminary work gluing this whole thing together before we ever tried to rehearse it last night. But I will just tell you this, and I think Bobby would concur, okay? If you can't sell the guys who are willing to die for your freedom, you can't sell anything.
Yeah, it was just outstanding. Beautiful tonight.
Shouldn't.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, and the one rodeo thing in that bull riding, I thought Shane Proctor should have got an option for a re-ride tonight. He would have taken it with the horrible finals that he feels like he's had, and he hadn't ridden very good. But you were talking about who do you put your money on winning day monies. I'm still thinking that if Shane Proctor, draws right, he might win the next 3 go-rounds. I mean, he reminds me a lot of, and I think I said it on the television, it's kind of like Drew Brees or Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 picks in one game and just getting slaughtered, and you're thinking, my gosh, and then the next 5 weeks, they win 5 games in a row and don't throw any. That's the kind of bull rider he is. He's a really tough bull rider.
I wouldn't deny that a bit. I agree with you. He wouldn't have a gold buckle that says he's the world champion or lay on the ground in the 10th round last year after getting his body beat. But to me, a guy that is kind of a dragon slayer that shows up when it's really time to show up is Cody Whitney.
He's just a guy that likes to ride bulls. He doesn't want to have a real job, and he is such a fun guy. And I'm serious. He's a really fun guy.
He is a fun guy. When you watch the Bull Riders Shuffle, he's the guy that's dancing the sexiest with the showgirls.
He was good on our show the other night with Donnie. Wore him out.
The Bull Riders, I think they've done a very good job this year. Trey Benton, he made the whistle tonight. Clayton Savage is riding really tough. Bo Schroeder, he's going to win the go-round if he doesn't lose his bull rope. How about Brett Stahl? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, my Detroit Lakes, Minnesota guy.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the next 3 go-rounds because I'm like Joe. This was the last 3 rounds. Man, that's where you beat them and make them like it.
Bob, I have had this question come in 3 nights in a row, and I know this is one of those impossible questions, but they want to know, Bob has done every rodeo in the world, and I said the other night, you can't teach people to be Bob Tallman. He's just the original.
Do you want to?
And the best. But they want to know, Bob, what is your favorite rodeo to announce? And, man, I know that's hard to not hurt people's feelings, but yeah,
it might get him fired somewhere.
No.
Give us some of your favorites.
That's a good question, and I'll tell you why. Joe Riggs, are you out there? Is that who's been calling me? Not in here tonight?
No.
This is an interesting question, and Boyd and I don't know why of all the people that I've worked with over the years, but he and I get a lot of exposure in television, radio, and interviews, and we get this question asked a lot, and this may surprise you. In 1983, I did 303 performances in 1 year, 1983, okay? I don't know what it paid. I don't remember because the money really didn't make that much difference. And I've worked 1-day rodeos, 2-day rodeos, and what's the biggest thing we do? Fort Worth 36, thanks to his daddy. And if you have a favorite rodeo, That means that you're going to sideline a community, a set of people, a reason that work just as hard. Plains, Montana on Labor Day work just as hard as Houston or Calgary or Fort Worth or Denver, okay? My favorite rodeo to announce is every stinking one, and between radio, TV, and live rodeos, I've done about 25,000 performances, okay, in 43 years. That includes the amateurs in Nevada, California, Idaho, and Utah.
First time I heard Bob Tallman announce, I went, OMG. How's that?
Hey, techno!
I said it out loud, and it was at Watsonville, California.
Okay.
Bob Tallman had a crown on his hat. It was that tall. The brim was that long. And he had on a little tie and little old, at that time, little bitty skinny neck and a real deep FM voice. And I'm thinking, who is this guy? And that was in 1972.
This guy is a Hall of Fame legend. Look, to answer that question, if it was put to me, and I want to try to help you with it, how do you? Because, first of all, how can you not love doing Houston? 70,000 people, 20 performances, all the techno gadgets. But, hey, 75% of the people there came for the concert, not for the Cowboys.
Well,
you know?
but the week after we're done after we're done at Houston, we go to a 2 or 3 day rodeo someplace.
Well, or an outdoor rodeo with a big arena like Dodge City.
Let me help you out just a second, Bob. Don't say Houston, because if you do, he's going to be on the phone to Fort Worth in 5 minutes.
No, they don't overlap each other. I want by
Well,
yeah.
Denver
now.
If it be the case,
I'm just kidding.
He's been there. He stopped on his way home from Denver a time or two and come to see us. And
the Lane Frost Award there one year was awesome.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that rodeo. I love Fort Worth. I mean, it's raw and it's pure. It's pure rodeo in Fort Worth.
It is the most traditional
back to this
rodeo.
question.
Y'all better get to that question. This is reminders of Capitol Hill.
I'm trying to help him answer it because I get asked it too. You love Dodge City because it's an outdoor venue in the middle of August and it's hot and it can't be any more western than Dodge City. You love Denver because everybody that comes there came to watch the rodeo, not to see a concert. So you love this one because you're not going to be surrounded by a higher caliber of production crew, staff, contestants, and livestock. But let me tell you, the critiquing and the pressure at this one, you've been on the bullfighters too much. You described Sherry Servy's fall wrong. The critiquing that gets done here is just, and I'm not just talking about production staff, I'm talking about fans and different people that either like what you said or didn't like what you said. So you won't get that same kind of scrutiny in Fort Worth unless it comes from Neil Gay, or my boss in Denver. But so you can't say you like one more than the other because you like each one of them separately for things that they bring to you, and you dislike certain things about each one of them because of what they bring to you. But as Bob pointed out, your favorite rodeo to go to is the next one.
Yeah, and that you've got to take them all by how old were you, where were you, what was happening in the world. And I don't think I've ever had a rodeo that I did not like at any place in the country, in Alaska or in Hawaii, in Australia or in New Zealand. Watsonville, California, we're all big for telling rewrite stories. And when nobody else will listen to us, we'll find each other and tell rewrite stories. Watsonville, California.
They're fun, too.
Watsonville, California is one of the drug capitals of the world, was back in the 70s. Still is today. It's a frightening place to be. But it's on the coast, and the weather there is phenomenal when the fog goes out in the morning. It's absolutely beautiful. Watsonville, California, 1974. No, it would have been 75. Nicole, my daughter, 38 today, I had a green pouch that was like a neck sling. You know how you carry kids in them. And she was like...
That's not your pacemaker, is it?
She
No,
was
it's for
like
something else.
2 months old. My wife's secretary to rodeos. His wife's secretary to rodeo. Everybody's wife is secretary to rodeo or some kind at one time or another. I had my daughter, 2 months old, in this pouch, and I was in the back alley on a big black horse sorting bulls. And when I started in rodeo business, you got up in the morning, you fed everything. Then we built the arena, and then we loaded the livestock, drove the truck. My wife would ride one horse and old ex-bucking horse, because he quit bucking, and exercise all the saddle horses on a tether line. Okay, lead 6. So Watsonville, California, I'm in the back alley and got broadside in the alley trying to stop this bull and whopping on him, and he jumped over the top of me, and as he come down, he stuck his hind foot between me and that 2-month-old baby. Jerked me and the horse plumb down. And when I hit the ground, I tried to guard her, and I looked up just enough to see both his front legs, and snot blew all over me and this baby girl. That horse had got up from out underneath me, and that bull was standing there, bayed off, and that horse was nose to nose with that bull to keep me guarded from that bull going to kill me and that baby girl. It happened so fast. Who was there to stop it? Nobody. Who was there to keep us alive? Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Bob
Amen.
Tallman. Great story.
Whoa.
Go ahead.
You were sorting bulls on the back of a horse with your daughter on you.
My wife was busy secretary in the rodeo.
There's going to be another regulation passed down. Oh, my God.
Donnie, what do you like to say? Lawyers.
Lawyers. Holy cow.
We hope you enjoyed being here. Would you pay these guys off here this evening for National Finals tonight? I want to say to our television crowd out there on YouTube, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. Folks, stay here. We'll give away prizes to TV. We'll say goodnight to you. National Finals tonight.
It's what I do. Let's ride.
Thank you for watching and attending the show. We hope you enjoyed the presentation of National Finals tonight at the Gold Coast, where all the Cowboys go after the rodeo. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. This has been a presentation of Boyd Gaming. The fun isn't over yet. We invite you to head upstairs for Gary LeFew's legendary Buck and Ball. Live music from the Texas Jam Band featuring members of George Strait's Ace in the Hole Band and local favorite Scotty Alexander. Beer and drink specials, and best of all, no cover charge. We're gonna dance and party till the cows come home at the Buck and Ball.
Rodeo is what I do. If I hang on tight, I'd make a buck or two. Is what I do. Is what I do. Is what I do.